Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of NuStrength Sugar Babes. And today we have a sugar babe who's actually not that far from our gym. She lives in Brisbane and she's married. She has 3 kids. She works full time. And I was just saying to her how I admire the mums in our program so much because they are just amazing. And she's been in the program now for about 15, 16 weeks, I think. And Stacey, can you tell us what were the issues that you were having before you joined the Win It Life program, and how are they affecting your life?
So I had heaps of different issues over time that were just kind of tapping on one to the other. So periods was probably the biggest one. Since having my 3rd child, I had really heavy periods. So quite often it would be nothing to go through, a box of 36 tampons in 3-4 days. As well as backing out with pads, that sort of thing, and then having spotting throughout the rest of the month as well. So there was just no indication of when a period might start or when it would finish, or if it had ever finished. So that was a big one, and I believe that kind of contributed to being iron deficient. So I was on over-the-counter iron supplements for over 2 years just to try and boost my iron levels. And the reason I came about realising I had that was I was having heart palpitations. So once or twice a week, I started getting these heart palpitations, and they could last anywhere from 30 minutes to 4 or 5 hours, where I'd just be laying on the couch feeling weak, and it was just a little flutter in my chest. So I finally, went to the doctors about that. And they did a whole range of tests and realised I was quite iron deficient. So I had that. I've got enlarged thyroid with thyroid cysts, while my thyroid levels were normal. Just moody, no energy. Just hair was dry, breaking out. I'd fill up my husband every fortnight would have to declog the shower because no water was getting down. I was just losing that much hair. So yeah, it was just, and then probably the other bigger one for me that I dealt with for that long, it became the norm, was constipation and diarrhea. So I was bloated every day, and I worked out up to 6 times a week for over an hour and a half each day. My warm-up was running a 5K run, and then I'd go do weights or boxing or you name it, all on top of it. And then I was bloated, and I had this semi-toned body. I'd lost a lot of weight doing it that way, but I still had people ask me whether I was pregnant, because I've got 3 quite small kids and close together. Like, did you go for the 4th? Are you pregnant? And I was like, no, I'm not, but I'm bloated every day. And then the constipation and diarrhea, constipated for 3-4 days. And then, hang on, I've got to go. It's just finally released, or however you want to put it. And there would just be this day of release, and then the constipation would build again. And obviously the bloating with that constipation over 3-4 days, my stomach was just getting bigger to a point where, I've got clotheslines on my stomach and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's probably the main ones that I think about, besides, like I said, mood swings and just fighting at the kids and not having a sense of humour and just being tired all the time. That lifestyle that I had before the program was I chose to sleep 4 to 5 hours a night so I could get up at 4 a.m. to go, to come into work, to run around, the Brisbane and the Valley for a 5K run at 5:30 in the morning to fit that in before I start work at 7, So lifestyle-wise, I got to a point where I realised I couldn't sustain it. So
That's crazy, isn't it? And what had you tried in the past to fix these issues? What other diets and things have you tried?
Like many of the other girls, what haven't I tried? So years ago, I did the shake thing. It lost a heap of weight, of course, put it on and more. Then I went through a stage of, just cutting out the wheat, because everyone says cut out wheat, and that benefited me a heap. But it didn't get rid of, any of my problems or help me with the weight loss as much. And then I started just calorie restricting, and that's probably the one that I did the longest for maybe the past 2.5 years before this program. And then that just led to, exercising more, calorie restricting more. And then I was getting to a point where I'm just like, I'm feeling worse, I'm getting worse, and all the symptoms were just increasing. So then why not try going dairy-free, eat more nuts, eat more greens, Supplement City. The supplements I used to take was phenomenal. Everything from protein powder and greens powder, Metamucil to try and help me go to the toilet, multivitamins, and then all the, essential fatty acids, you name it. I just had this whole cupboard full of stuff. And I'm thinking, why am I feeling any better? Because I've got all these supplements in there.
It's crazy, hey? And I guess, like, what were you doing? You were just doing what all the experts told you to do, right?
Yeah, and a couple of challenges, like I did a couple of like those bikini fitness model kind of 8-12 week challenges. And by the end of it, I just feel horrible. I was going to the doctor, actually getting them to run tests, because I'd convinced myself that there was something that was being missed because I felt so unwell. I was saying to me, like, your iron levels will come back up. We're not picking anything up. Your thyroid levels are fine. But I was convinced that I was sick because I was doing everything everyone was telling me to do. And I was getting these weight loss results, but everything else wasn't. I felt horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. You poor thing. It's just so common though. It's like so many women. And I was the same. I used to get up like you, and I'd do an hour of cardio, an hour of weights, and I'd do it fasted as well. And it's like, then I'd eat no carbs for the whole day and wonder why I wanted to binge and felt so crappy. And can you tell the viewers, what are the results that you've seen so far in the program?
So, obviously the biggest fear, I think, for most people when they come into the program is stopping cardio. And I was the same, and eating more. But I've done both, and I have lost centimetres. I probably weigh less now, if you want to talk about scales, than I did doing all of that and calorie restricted. So the results for me, I've dropped centimetres, my mood's better. Even my husband's, there's a running joke that if I have a little crack at something, he'll go, have you eaten your macros today? And I'll be like, that's it, I've missed my snack, or, yeah, actually I am hungry and I'll go and eat something. But yeah, don't crack at the kids anymore. Like, there's just no moment where I actually go off at them and then feel terrible about it. What else? Sleeping. So now I put sleep before so much. So if I'm tired, I've learned to listen to my body through this program, which has been the biggest thing for me as well. So if I'm tired or I'm sick, I rest my body. I'm listening to what my body's saying and doing, which has been really, really good. And then the constipation and diarrhea thing, I haven't had diarrhea at all. And it's slowly, my body is getting into that, and going to the toilet once a day almost, every now and again it might be 2 days, but for the most part, every single day. So that's been huge, because I've lived with that for like 10-15 years. So I thought that's my body, like, it just doesn't work properly anymore. But it's been reversible, so that's been massive.
What about the bloating?
So normally people would say, like, I wouldn't wear something so tight, because by the end of the day I'd be engaging the core to walk around the office or anything like that, because I didn't want people to, notice how bloated I got over the day. But quite often now I'll be at home lifting up my top going, look, the husband's sick of seeing it, I'm sure. No. But pulling it up, just going, I can't believe that there's actually outline of obliques, because there is just no bloating anymore. So that's massive, just for confidence as well.
Isn't it crazy? So, like, how many calories and what sort of foods were you eating then versus how many calories and the type of food you're eating now?
Okay, so I was probably eating like between 1,400 and 1,600 calories before the program. And that was after I had actually I lost all my weight on about 1,200 calories, and then thought, to maintain, I need to up it a bit more. in my head, so I went to 14 to 1600. But yeah, like I said, I had all those symptoms. And then I would be eating nuts. I reckon I ate like a kilo or two of cashews a week. Like that was just my go-to snack. Anything green. So broccoli, heaps of broccoli, heaps of vegetables. Every night was pretty much meat, and then just an assortment of vegetables. No potato or anything like that, because we didn't want those types of carbs. I wouldn't drink milk or anything like that, or orange juice, or none of those things. It was purely water, and I drink like 3 litres of water a day. For breakfast was probably a protein shake, those sorts of things. So it was like this highly liquid nut and vegetable type thing, and no idea of tracking macros. Like it was just calories only, and so I had no idea whether I was getting the right percentage of what I needed either. So,
and what are you doing now?
I'm up to about 1950, I think it is. Yeah, and obviously I've got milk back in my diet, and I love milk, and that's one of the things that brought me to the program. Was I was looking at those foods that are recommended, and I was thinking to myself, who doesn't love all that, right? So yeah, I was, sign me up, I want to give this a go. So yeah, so pretty much fish and chicken and beef and the milk, the OJ. I listen to my body now. I only drink water when I feel like I need it. I'm not going overboard drowning myself because someone told me I should drink 3 litres. So yeah, I drink when I'm thirsty. Coffee, one of my favourites, that also had me at hello because of the coffee. Eggs. I have chocolate, every night. Ice cream every night. I've got that sweet tooth, so I make sure that's something I fit in every day. But yeah, heaps of good food. Potatoes, I eat a lot of sweet and the white potatoes as well.
Just good food, just real good food. And no more cardio. Isn't it amazing? So you've increased your calories, cut back your training, and you've gotten leaner. And yeah, it's just, isn't it funny though? It's like you just do all the things that like the fitness models and the celebrities and the dietitians and the the nutritionists tell you to do, yet it just works again. Yeah.
And I feel like an idiot now. Like when you actually look at stuff, you think, God, I can't believe that so many things are out there now. And I think you try so many of them, and now I look at that and I just think, God, no way in the world. Like I would never change anything I'm doing now, or go back to that way. Like I was so unhappy, and now energy-wise, I haven't had a nap, I don't think, since starting this program, and I would be killing, like with full-time work, 3 kids, to go to my job is a 3-hour round commute a day.
Oh God!
I'd be like on the couch. Like,
how are you doing it? How are you doing it? You're just barely surviving.
Well, that's when I found this program. I realised that I couldn't sustain what I'd been doing, and I'd done it for 2 years, and I was, like I said, I thought there was something, I was ill. I wasn't. My body was just telling me it's not sustainable. So yeah, that was a big thing.
It makes me so happy when I hear stuff like this. Now, some of the main objections that we get from women who are coming into the program is, one, they are worried that this won't work because they've been, like probably you've done every diet under the sun, and they're hesitant about trying something new, especially something that goes against everything that the fitness industry says. What advice would you give to a woman who was like, oh, I just don't know if I should do this? Will it work?
Yeah. Look, I think if you've given everything else a go, you deserve it to yourself to try this. And this program, because there's such a huge variety of food for women to choose from, that they're gonna be able to find something that they can eat and something that they can sustain, and that's something that you empower them to do, is to make their own plans, to choose their own foods. So it's only them that's going to let themselves down on this program. Like it's something that can be done, and there's hundreds and hundreds of women doing it, and everyone's having amazing results. It's a sustainable program. It's a life change. So
Mm. And the second one is money. You know, they're like, oh, should I really invest that much money in myself? Do you feel as though you have gotten value out of the money that you've paid for this program?
Yes. Yeah, never ever been part of a program that has been so supportive. Many other of the challenges or other groups that you join up to, it's a one-size-fits-all type of thing. And at the start you get, you know, oh, this is what you got to do, sign up here, this is how it's going to be, a bit of instruction, and then you're kind of left to, this is the plan, you go and do that for your 12 weeks, whatever else. Throughout this program, you know, I haven't been fully fit with the flu, whatever else, or had my digestion issues where I need some advice, and also a couple of injuries. So there was that support, you know, from the team where they would actually give me advice on, you know, how I can fix it, modified programs, support every day of the week and the other ladies on the program too. So there is never a shortage. I don't think I've seen anyone that hasn't been able to get a hand with something within minutes, you know, through the different portals and pages and stuff like that. So it's fantastic, and that's why I'm still in the program now. You know, I've done the 12 weeks, but I'm still here because the support is, I've never seen anything like it.
Thank you. And now another objection is time. And you're pretty busy, I would say, like up there with the 3-hour commute, working full-time, 3 kids. If women said, I'm too busy to do this program, invest the time, what would you say to that?
The amount of time it actually saves. Like, this is a program where it's so easy to put the time aside. Like I said before, I was getting up at 4 to go and work out for an hour and a half, you know, doing unnecessary things because, you know, the instruction I've been given wasn't accurate. So now I work out 3 times a week for an hour, and that's all I need. And I don't get up at 4 a.m. to do that anymore because I can, you know, find the time to do that elsewhere. I can sleep instead. Meal prep, that's become a family thing. You know, that's something I do. My kids love to help doing that. My husband likes to help. That's something we can do, you know, 1 day a week, and it's done for the whole family for a week or 2. Shopping, again, the food, everything. Your life's so simplified by the food choices that you don't spend that time going through every aisle in the shopping centre and picking up unnecessary things. Like, you know what you're going there to get, and you get it, you go home and you prep it, and it's really quite simple. So time, I've gotten back, I'm sleeping 8 hours a night now. Before I'd have 4 or 5, so there's at least 3 hours in my day that I've gotten back, you know, since I've joined the program. So
yeah, it's crazy. I agree. I think it really gives you time back too. And finally, some women are really worried about doing this program online, and they're just worried about, you know, what about the support? Can I do it online? I'm not going to be like physically seeing them face to face. What would you say to that? How have you found it?
That was my biggest concern joining this program, because the program I'd done prior to this, it was pretty much, yes, this is an online program and we're going to do this. I never ever saw them again. Even when the program finished, no one even checked in with me. Like, it was just done. Everything on this program, you're contacted by the coaches if you haven't checked in for a while. You you know, I know since even finishing my one-on-ones with Craig, I've got April messaging me, you know, out of the blue, just asking how I am. And then you've got, you know, the Facebook page where you can get on there and interact as much as you want, and all the girls are so supportive. I don't know, you just never ever feel left out, and everyone's really welcoming and always there to help you out whenever you want. You've got the sister program, like there's nothing that you guys haven't thought of. And yeah, and that's what, like I said, I'm still here. I didn't finish the 12-week challenge and think I'd had it enough or I'd gotten enough. I still want more. I still want to be a part of it because it's been just so beneficial lifestyle-wise, not just for me, but for my family, for my work life, for everything, because I've got this supported network here. All these other amazing ladies.
It is an amazing group. Like I often, you know, like there's no egos, there's no bitches. Everyone's really supportive, and it is really, really awesome. It's and fun, you know, like it's funny. There's a lot of funny posts in there. And finally, just
So
yeah,
probably the only page that I actually, you know, like I go through now and I'm actually jumping off every other page, fitness page, food page, you know, all those pages that I followed before. I'm getting all off them on Facebook because I can just spend my whole day with the WOW community and just, you know, there's enough going on there. Like that's all I need to know. It's great.
so true. And finally, if a woman was sitting on the fence about doing this program, what advice would you give her?
Just give it a shot. Like I said, I thought I was severely, you know, ill with something wrong with me, and just by giving this program a shot, it's the best thing I've done. You know, it honestly has changed my life and those around me, because I'm a different person now. I feel better. I've got the energy. I'm happy, and like I said, I don't feel sick. You know, and it was amazing to me to realise that metabolism and digestion could be such a major issue. They were never things I would have ever considered before this program, and healing those, and how much, you know, the diet and the foods we put in our system, and healing that digestion, everything else, how it leads to other problems as well. Like, you know, you've got period problems and other things like that. So don't sit on the fence, give it a go. You've got nothing to lose. It's something that I don't think I've seen anyone fail in this program. So
No, it is. I mean, life is so much better when you're seeing real fucking food again, you know?
yeah,
Like, it's just more enjoyable.
It's hard for women to believe, though, that it's possible.
Yeah, I know. I think I forget sometimes, like, because obviously I've been eating like this for such a long time now. Well, not such a long time, 3.5, 4 years. And I feel like this is so normal, and I forget that it's so abnormal, you know, like, yeah.
It's funny, you know, you have the, like, friends of mine or family or whatever that sit there and think, oh, okay, well, how long are you still on that program? Or are you know, you're still doing that or whatever else? But it's funny now because they're asking a lot more questions since seeing how I was at the start, seeing how I am 15, 16 weeks on, and just the fact that it was sustained. Other programs at 3 weeks would be going, I can't do this anymore, you know. They're like 15, 16 weeks on, you're still doing it. I'm like, this is my life now. Like, I couldn't be happier. And now I've got them asking more questions as well about, okay, you know, what do we sign up? So that speaks for itself as far as I'm concerned with regards to other people from the outside having a look at someone that's done the program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time and sharing that with the viewers. And if you're watching this and you like Stacey and you just don't want to feel shit anymore. You want to eat real food and be part of an awesome community of strong women that support each other and lift each other up and just eat real food. Click on the link below and pop in an application, and you can book in a time to chat with myself or one of the coaches, and we will just see where you are now and where you want to be and whether or not our program can actually help you, because we don't want to work with everyone and our program's not for everyone, and that's okay. So yeah, thanks again, Stacey, and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the group.
Yep, no worries. Okay. See you.
Bye. Bye.